Take 200 kilometers of twisty, snow-covered roads. Soak thoroughly and freeze carefully for 6 weeks. Stir in 40 teams and 4 former national champions. Add 2-meter snowbanks, shake vigorously, and pour over ice. This is the perfect recipe for a classic Canadian car rally. It's the Rally Perce Neige Maniwaki, and it's being served right now on Canada's sports leader, TSN. Hello, Canada. Nice to be back with you. Vic Rutter along with TSN Rally analyst Paul Chater. We are in Maniwaki, Quebec for the first round of the 2009 Canadian Rally Championship, the 44th annual Rally Perce Neige, and it's going to get this season off to a great start.
40 teams will start the championship's only winter event, 30 of which are in the fastest open class. And here's the best part, 6 of these teams have won here before. 230 kilometers of closed roads, special stages. The roads are icy, fast, and magnificent.
The Canadian Rally Championship on TSN is brought to you by Subaru. Think, feel, drive Subaru. And by Yokohama Tires. Now, you've got control.
Maniwaki is not just hosting, they're sponsoring local rally hero, Sylvan Erickson.
Every rally where I'm going, I'm in there for winning. But it's going to be tough this weekend, really tough. I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to get the more second as possible on the stage around here, but not doing stupid things, and see what is going on before to put maximum attack.
Special delivery for Antoine Lestage, a brand new Evo 10 for the two-time champion.
Yeah, I don't know very much about the new car. I just saw it and I drove it for half an hour, and it'll be completely new. A lot of unknown for this event, but we'll start very easy. I want to learn the car, and I don't want to stuff it. So and later on we'll see if I feel comfortable and we're not so far. Maybe we'll push a little bit, but the goal is to score good points for the championship.
You can bet that Andrew Comrie Picard would like to win here again, as would Peter Thompson, but they'll have to face the quintessential rally master himself, Frank Sprung.
Well, it's been 3 years since I've been here, and it's been a year since I ran Tall Pines, so I'm going to go out and go play with the boys this weekend. It's a great field. So I came here to win the event. I didn't come here to finish second, but we'll see how it ends up at the end of the day. I'm going to give it my best, so there'll be no excuses on this card.
Last year's champions, Patrick Richard, Alan Ockwell are back for Team Subaru Canada. Their ride, a 2009 Subaru WRX STI.
I mean, I'm here for points. I'm here to win. I love this event. I've won it a few times. And certainly, I'd like to come out of here with a victory. But, we'll see how it is after the first few stages. And like I said, if I'm within 30 seconds after the first 5, I think a win's certainly possible.
6 former winners, 4 former champions, and I'll bet they're all thinking the same way.
And Paul, first on the road of this star-studded cast is the 2007 Canadian Rally Championship team of Antoine Lestage and co-driver Nathalie Richard.
Stage 1 is a short 2-kilometer warm-up. It'll be interesting to see how different drivers' race strategies play out here. Tire choice will play a big role on the slippery roads. Most of the top teams chose to start the event on tractionized ice tires. But Antoine is counting on a top layer of hard-packed snow and is starting on Yokohama or snow tires.
Left 4 minus 100.
The other thing you have to think about too, Paul, maybe he's playing it a little safe, given the learning curve he's facing with this new car.
What was it?
22.
Yeah, but last year we did 22 with the chicane.
So obviously not as fast as last year, still learning about the new car. Now second on the road is the local favorite, Sylvan Erickson, known as Mr. Maximum Attack, his all or nothing driving style. And that strategy appears, Paul, to be working here, setting a blistering pace over the first 2 stages.
Yeah, he's running on Yokohamas as well, but not the snow tires Antoine chose. He's on tractionized ice tires, which should work better on the roads now that Antoine's cleared off the top layer of snow.
Patrick Richard's bright blue Subaru is also running tractionized ice tires and is right on the heels of Erickson, but just 3 seconds behind through the first 2 stages. But here to school the young guns on the way it's supposed to be done, look who's back, Paul Frank Sprongel. And right out of the gate, the 6-time champion wins the first stage of the rally. He has a new American co-driver in Karen Wagner. You know, in the 90s, remember, this guy was unbeatable on snow at the wheel of an Audi Quattro. Remember that one? And it looks like he hasn't lost his touch. The kids are going to have to pick it up.
Peter Thompson won both Rally Perce Neige and the Canadian Championship in 2005, and he's pushing hard on the slick roads with longtime partner Rod Hendrickson calling the notes. Same goes for 2007 winner Andrew Comrie-Picard and Perce Neige. He's rally sharp, already having finished third at the Rally America event the previous weekend, and the CP is just only 1 second behind Richard after 2 stages.
So, Paul, it's the usual suspects who fill the early leaderboard. The Ericsson brothers lead Richard by 3. Frank Sprongel is in contention. Antoine Lestage, now that Richard, still getting used to that new car, but they are getting faster and faster with every stage.
We didn't expect to be right up there with the leaders anyway, so he's just learning the car and getting a feel for it. And yeah, we're a bit back, and we're aiming for a podium. We're not, we're not gunning for the win like we might have been, say, this time last year. But if we get it, that'd be great. But our goal is podium.
More rally racing coming up on TSN.
Hey, Mario.
Hey, what do you got in this thing?
16 valve, 2.4 liter engine, 200 horsepower. Air conditioning.
32 valve, 3.5 liter engine, 650 horsepower, air conditioning.
Honda builds every IndyCar engine. It's our commitment to racing and engineering. The same engineering that goes into the all-new Civic, the official vehicle of the IZOD IndyCar Series.
Welcome back to the Rally Perce Neige Maniwaki, and despite the cold weather, the level of competition has drawn thousands out into this cold weather ball. Rally leader Sylvain Eriksson starts the next stage with big brother Philippe co-driving. This pair always earns the loudest cheers from the local fans.
Sylvain has switched over to the same Yokohama snow tires Antoine chose for the first 2 stages, deciding that there was enough snow covering the ice to maximize traction. The choice is obviously paying dividends in increased grip, but now his brother is having difficulty holding pace. Reading notes is even harder than it looks. If the notes describe what you can see, they're too late. The co-driver always needs to be well ahead of what the driver can see. Sylvain Eriksson, that means way ahead.
Now, although many teams made the logical decision and switched to snow tires, Frank Sprongel called trusted instincts over 2 decades of racing and stuck with the tractionized ice tires. The result? He'll take 9 seconds out of Ericsson on stage 4, jumping into the lead.
And the wipers are going because there's a slight drizzle, making the snowy roads even slicker. As we're riding along with Frank Sprongel, we'll see just how he managed those roads, spinning just after the finish.
Obviously pushing hard, which is no surprise against the challengers such as Richard and Ockwell. They opted to mount snow tires on the Subaru Canada car during the last service, gambling that the drizzle won't last. Initially, the decision did cost them on stage 3. The pace on the new tires increased steadily as the rally moved on to fresh roads. Unfortunately, Paul, it wasn't their only problem, as their racing gearbox chewed up 2nd, 3rd, and finally got 5th gear too.
That's awesome.
6 left over crest, 180, lost 5th.
Yeah.
And while Pat suffers from mechanical trouble, Andrew Comrie-Picard and Perce Neige got caught out by the slippery conditions, losing nearly 20 minutes on stage 5 after sliding hard into a snowbank, which, as it turns out, also contained a tree. The former Perce Neige winner is out of contention for a podium, but he's determined to finish.
Paul, it looks like Antoine Lestage is getting more comfortable in his car. Last year, this was marred by technical problems in the Navy Hyundai. He's hoping the new Evo will allow him a clean run in this 2009 championship, and so far, so good.
Into left 3 tightens.
Peter Thompson is experienced enough to know that any time he loses now will be harder to make up later as the sun goes down and any remaining drizzle on the ground freezes. He's trying as hard as he can to keep the gap between his Evo and the podium as small as possible, and you can see how incredibly slippery it is, and the freezing rate's just making it much worse. For those new to the Canadian Rally Championship, I should tell you that studded tires are not allowed.
Mathieu Lestage is having a great run, Paul. After 5 stages, he's only 5 seconds behind his big brother Antoine.
Running in 6th place, nearly a minute back, is Craig Henderson. who's been running very smoothly and consistently despite the tricky conditions. But when you mix twisty roads with snow, ice, horsepower, and adrenaline, the mistakes are usually not far behind.
Hold on.
All locked up. Man,
How you think? Yeah, the four-way flash will help. Oh yeah, now we need the wipers too. Look out, look out. Well, nice. Oh, all the tough conditions are starting to take their toll on all the equipment.
I feel some big fluctuation on the Presto, on the heating. Now I'm missing Presto. But we're gonna check out our service. We have what, 30-minute service? Yes. We're gonna see if it's something we could fix. Maybe it's outside leaking. But it's a brand new engine. I don't want to destroy that one.
As tough as it will be for Ericsson's crew to replace a radiator on his WRX, the Subaru Canada team has an even bigger job ahead of them. Pat Richard's car needs a new gearbox, and they've only got 30 minutes to swap it out.
Pat's service crew has experience with this sort of repair. Every person on the team knows their part in this carefully coordinated mechanical ballet. If everything goes smoothly, they can get it done, but there's no margin for error. This is the time when the drivers become the spectators as the mechanics take center stage. Despite the gearbox problems, Richard has managed to hold off Ericsson for second place. Antoine Lestage continues to increase his pace in the new car, but Frank Sprongel has won 5 of the first 7 stages.
Frank Sprongel made an inspired tire choice the last set of stages. He went on ice tires. No one else did, and he basically kicked everyone's butt. Right now, we're the best of the rest on the snow tires, despite the fact that we came in with only 3 speeds. So hopefully with the new gearbox, we can not only stay in second place, but try to get back to first place.
With so much racing going on in the world, you'd have to be a four-headed monster to keep up with it all. Luckily, we have that. Join Peter Keene, Bill Wood, Errol Tucker, and their guest driver analyst each week for an opinionated look at the news coming out of the racing world. Remember, it's GoRacingTV.com for all your racing.
The first round of the 2009 Canadian Rally Championship has turned into a winter classic, the likes of which we haven't seen in years. Rally legend Frank Sprongel's sudden and untouchable pace has shocked everyone. Last year's champion, Patrick Richard, is 19 seconds back, but poised to challenge for the win with a fresh gearbox. Hometown hero Sylvain Ericsson's maximum attack, that approach could still earn him top honors. And don't count out Antoine Lestage, who's getting faster on every stage with his brand new car. It's everything a hardcore rally fan could hope for. And with cars freshly serviced, Paul, and fuel, we'll start stage 8 with rally leaders Sprongel and Wagner in their Evo 6.
A 19-second lead over Pat Richard may seem like a lot, but Frank is wise enough to know that the road conditions are going to change significantly when the sun goes down and the temperature drops. He also knows that there are 65 competitive kilometers before the next chance to fix the car. He'll want to open up that lead as much as he possibly can.
My, that looks fast.
Depending on their gearing, the fast cars can touch 200 kilometers an hour here before braking gingerly for a right 4. Going fast isn't the hard part, it's the slowing down that's tricky on ice. Brake too early and you lose time, too late, and you crash.
He will have a tough time of it, Paul, with the pressure on from Patrick Richard. You know, rally cars usually have more lights than that.
Good eye, Vic. And the commotion surrounding the gearbox change on the last service, Pat's crew neglected to mount the high-powered rally lights that allow the driver to see clearly on the night stages. It isn't a problem yet, but the sun's setting fast and the crew can't get the lights to Pat until the next service, which will be well after dark.
And let's not forget Mr. Maximum Attack, Sylvain Ericsson, will see this as an opportunity to take some time out of Pat for second place. His crew swapped the radiator, solving the coolant leak. He certainly hasn't slowed down, and he's still demanding faster notes from his co-driver.
Peter Thompson's consistency has kept him in contention. He's up to 5th ahead of Henderson, but Mathieu Lestage suffered a gearbox failure, and he's out of the rally.
Over crest into 5 left.
I called the big news happened on stage 2. Frank Sprong, an 8-minute penalty. His co-driver, Karen Wagner, unfamiliar with Canadian rules and running first on the road, clocked them into their stage early. That cost them 8 minutes.
Repeat, brake, keep right over crest, into left 2 minus.
Sprongle's trouble bumps everybody up a spot, meaning that Antoine Lestage is now in 3rd place, and that's quite an accomplishment for a cool car.
Repeat, keep right over crest, into left 2.
You expect untested cars to have some teething problems, but here's
Watch
one.
the bump coming up into careless 1 minute short. Okay.
Yeah, turns out that light pod was never intended for Antoine's car. It was a temporary one installed because a correct one wasn't available.
Keep right over crest. Left 3 over bumpy crest.
And obviously the temporary mounts didn't hold, and now it's costing valuable time, not to mention the lights are loose, and you gotta believe that Antoine's concentration is broken, plus now the windshield is starting to fog up.
80, left 4 on crest. Repeat, left 4 on crest. Whoa, whoa, whoa. It's a left 4, it's a left 4. Brake.
That's over 1,000 watts of light hitting.
Go get them off, go get them off, go get them off.
With Antoine Lestage forced to remove the light pod until the next service, he's now in the same boat as Pat Richard, forced to run 2 night stages with just stock headlamps.
Into left 6 plus for small crest 50. Right 6 plus into finish. Oh, watch the bump, watch the bump, watch the bump right here. Okay. Done.
F***ing hell. Terrible. It was going so well.
It was going well. I called that bump many times.
Don't tell me that I got too fast to the bumps. Don't tell me that.
Oh, ben là.
Don't tell me that.
Despite the darkness, Patrick Richard still managed, Paul, to post some blistering time.
Well, unfortunately, the confusion at the last service when we did the tranny change, we actually forgot to put our light pods on. So I ran those 2 really long stages with no lights, so a little bit of a disadvantage. We lost some time to Frank, but we made some time on Sylvain, surprisingly. So we're definitely first or second in any case. I think Frank took an 8-minute penalty, it looks like. So if that's the case, then we're leading.
And Ericsson, well, he can't believe it.
Pat is Pat. Pat beat me on this stage with no light by 20 seconds over. More than 20 seconds with no light. It's mean everything. I have the most respect of everybody, but I have a big respect for about that.
Ericsson's respect is well earned as Patrick Richard moves into the lead with 3 stages to go. Ericsson will have to make up more than a minute if he hopes to win. And despite losing time because of his lights, Antoine Lestage manages to hold on to 3rd place.
And what about Frank Sprongel? Well, he's still winning most of the stages.
I'm trying to make up to 6 minutes. We lost by checking in early a couple stages ago, so I'm kind of a little bummed out about that. But you know what? Driver makes a mistake, goes up, it's okay. Quarter makes a mistake, well, it has to work both ways, so it's okay.
3 stages to go. And whoever gets the win. We'll be right back at a walk.
State your desires.
Speed, adrenaline, competition.
Calculating. Result in 3, 2, 1. The National Auto Sports Association. Start here.
Welcome back to the Rally Perce Neige and a walking. The Canadian Rally Championship on TSA is brought to you by Subaru. Think, feel, drive. Subaru. We're down to the last 3 stages of this 2009 season opener, and despite being 6 minutes out of the lead, Frank Sprongel is the first on the road.
He's won 7 of the first 11 stages.
Good 6 minutes to make up.
Yeehaw! Full lunch.
Despite the enormous challenge ahead of him, though, he definitely does sound optimistic.
6 minutes to the victory is essentially impossible, Vic, but he's only 3 minutes off the podium, and the last 3 stages are long, over a quarter of the whole rally distance. And it's possible one of the top runners could have some trouble. It's a long shot, but if anyone can do it, it's Frank Sprongel.
And Patrick Richard should be in good shape to defend his lead now that he has proper lights in the car.
Yeah, he finished 3rd here in 2008 and definitely wants to lead the championship from the start this year.
Oh boy, it sounds like the gremlins have struck again, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're not sure. It's a common problem in winter rallies to stuff the red opening with snow and then have the car overheat, but we just don't know what happened. The only good news for Subaru is that Ericsson should now inherit the lead in another STI.
And here he is ready to start stage 12, but he has problems of his own.
I'm first right now. I'm 30 seconds in front of Antoine. Next, I'm driving blind.
Yeah, he's driving blind, Paul, because his brother Philippe was injured at the last service. The trunk lid came down on his head, and now he's basically just a passenger in this and not really helping his brother very much.
Finish, yes, but finish first.
Yeah, Vic, they've got more than 60 kilometers of dark, icy, snow-covered roads to go, and as you said, Sylvain Ericsson's running blind. And you can see Pat Richard on this stage. On the side of the road, flashers going. Sylvain's now leading the rally, but he'll lose 26 seconds, almost half of his lead over Antoine Lestage by the end of stage 12.
Now, as for Antoine Lestage, he may not like these circumstances that have led him to this spot, but look, he has to be pleased. He's managed to get his car in position for a second place, and it's the debut of this new Evo.
That's right, Vic. Definitely shows that he's got the skill set required to win another championship, even with the level of competition he's facing. The question is whether he will push to win tonight or save the car and settle for second.
Take her easy because we just moved up a spot, okay?
Sounds like Natalie knows he's not backing down.
And neither is Frank Sprongel.
5 left.
And into a snowbank. Despite the spin, he's still the fastest guy out there, winning the long stages 12 and 13 by 29 seconds.
This is a 5 left, then 4 right, downhill.
But here he is, Paul, the old master, missing some of the bodywork, trailing what's left, reeling in the leaders. One stage to go, but he is running out of time. He is, though, up for it.
The end was horrible.
Oh, you saw parts of my car on the road.
Yeah, I'm really sorry, but I passed right on.
So at the end of stage 13, Antoine Lestage pulled ahead of Sylvain Ericsson, now leads by 4 seconds. Peter Thompson is in third, but look at Frank Sprongel, only 22 seconds behind him, and Sylvain isn't hopeful about making up those 4 seconds.
I just want to make sure Antoine is not there because we have a big problem. No turbo at all, almost no pressure turbo, and we don't want to. Nobody knows because we want to keep a little bit pressure on Antoine. We're right now 4 seconds back of him, and we're second place. We're gonna go out and try the best for the best, but we're gonna take what it brings. First or second place.
And first on the road for the final stage is Frank Sprongel. Just over 23K now to make up 22 seconds on Thompson for a podium. And all of his skill and all that experience are about to be put to the ultimate test.
Sylvain Ericsson will leave next on the run to the finish line with his brother injured and a failing turbo. It'll be a struggle just to finish the race.
And you really do have to admire this no-quit bravery of the Ericsson brothers. What's this here? Well, that's Karen Wagner with waving the triangle, and now the car. That's Frank Sprongel's car. Lots of smoke.
With the road completely blocked, even with the fire out, the final stage has to be scrubbed. Sprongel will finish, but he's out to play the glory.
And the boys do the only thing they can. They jump from the car to run and help their fellow competitor. With stage 14 cancelled, Antoine Lestage wins the rally Perce Neige Maniwaki. Sylvain Ericsson comes in a close second, only 4 behind. Peter Thompson will take third place.
Of all the tire combinations out there, it's worth noting that all 3 teams on the podium ran Yokohama snow and ice tires.
As all the competitors now transit out of the stage with Frank Sprongel in tow, certainly Antoine Lestage has plenty to be proud of.
Yeah, I think that's it. We'll have to make sure, but I think we won by 4 seconds. Unbelievable. Yeah, I'm very happy. Thanks to the guys, they did a great job. John Buffum and the crew. Thanks to Nat, she did a great job again. So it's it's awesome debut for the new car. Very happy.
You know, Paul, this really has been one of the more exciting rallies I can remember. 6 lead changes, 4 different teams, with the winners taking it on the final stage. And if the rest of the season is anything like this, the 52nd Annual Canadian Rally Championship promises to be the best ever. For Paul Chase and our entire crew, thank you for joining us at Canadian Rally Championship on Canada's Sports Leader, TSN.